Welcome to the read of the Love Exquisite Magazine. My name is Lynette, and I am reading in the October 2022 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine, which you can access for free at loveexquisite.com. I'm reading in the section called For the Love of Relationships. I'm reading the article titled Tell Me What You Want. It's like, no. I'm reading the article titled Tell Me What You Need from Me. Tell me what you need from me. It's important in relationships. Tell me what you need from me. And here it goes. In relationships, we tend to think that our mate is a mind reader, and we think that he or she should know our thoughts, wants, desires, likes, and dislikes. One of the biggest mistakes couples can make in relationships is to assume that your mate knows what you are thinking or what you need without you actually stating your thoughts and needs. You might even think, by now you should know me. You might have heard that or in your relationships. By now, you should know what I want. You should know what I like. You should know what I don't like. By now, you should know. However, you have to realize that everyone has a lot going on in their personal life. They have competing priorities, so they might forget some things. So if your mate forgets some things that you told them about yourself, it doesn't mean that they don't they it doesn't mean that they don't care about you, or they don't care enough, or that they don't care enough to remember. If it's a lot of things that you have to remember in life. So sometimes you are human. Well, all the times you're human. So sometimes you forget. You have to remember that if your mate forgets, that doesn't mean that they love you any less or that they care less or that they're your enemy. Your mate is not your enemy. So give him or her the same grace that you want. What is wrong with telling your mate what you want from him or her, or what you need, I should say, from him or her? What is wrong with telling your mate what you want him or her to know about you? It takes a very long time sometimes to learn everything about someone. You can be with someone for a very long time, for several years, and realize that there's something that you still don't know. You could be together for years, and then one day you're having a conversation and you're like, oh, I never knew that. Why didn't you ever tell me that before? So there's things that you don't know about your mate. So don't assume that your mate knows everything, or you should know by now. Erase that from your vocabulary. I know it's hard because it's a common phrase that you often hear in relationships, but trust me, your mate is just not only thinking about you. They have different things that they're thinking about. They have children, they have work, they have businesses, they have whatever they have going on. They have family life, their own personal needs and wants. It might be some health things that they're thinking about. There's all kinds of competing things and priorities and needs. So give them that grace, because they're human beings and sometimes they forget. So never say, oh, you should know. Mm-mm. You might have told me and forgive me, but I forgot. Can you tell me again? So sometimes you do need reminders. So there's nothing wrong with you telling your mate what they should know about you. It takes time, again, to learn everything about someone. You could find that, like I said, year after year, there are things that you might just be finding out. Like if you might be with your mate and they like cold showers, you like hot showers, but nobody ever communicated that. And then y'all get in the shower together and it's like, oh no, this is not gonna work. I like it cold, I like it hot. Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. That's something that you need to communicate. Or you could spend years y'all watching a TV program together, and then years later the person say, you know what, I'm tired of watching the show. I never liked the show anyway. Then it's like, well, why didn't you ever say anything? We didn't have to watch the show if I knew you didn't like it. And so now y'all arguing about something that should have been communicated. So always communicate. Never assume what you think a person should know. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody, no, babe, I don't really like this show, so I'm gonna go in the other room and I'm gonna watch something else, you know what I mean, or whatever. Or can we watch something else? Come to a compromise. I strongly believe that in relationships, both of you should be happy and have your needs met. Both of you, not one person, both of you. So it is okay to tell your mate what you need from him or her so that the two of you can compromise. And no matter what, please refrain from saying you should already know. Keep in mind that your mate is not a mind reader or fortune teller. Communication is one of the most important components in a relationship. You should be able to openly communicate any topic with one another. If I like, even if it's down to sex, if I like doing it in a certain position and it's different from the position that you like doing it in, tell me so we can switch it up. I don't always want to do it this way. You don't always want to do it. Maybe you do it this way. Your back hurt or something like that. You might want to tell me, or you want to catch a Charlie horse so let me know so that we can do something else. We can creatively work together and explore different positions and different body parts. So communicate to your mate or with your mate on what you need. And communicating what you need is just as important as communicating your love language and what motivates you in a relationship. Telling your mate what you need takes diplomacy. So keep that in mind as well. Keep in mind that you might not always get exactly what you want when you want it. But it does not mean that you should stop communicating your needs. Don't be like, well, she ain't going to do it anyway, or he ain't going to do it anyway, or she ain't going to listen, or he ain't going to listen. Communicate anyway and try to work together to come up with a compromise. That's basically what I'm saying. So it is still important to let your mate know what you want from him or her. You should feel comfortable talking to your mate about anything, so that you don't have to talk to people outside of your relationship about what you want from your relationship. The people outside of your relationship can't give you what you want in your relationship. So you talk to the person directly who can give you what you want in your relationship, and you work together. Because again, you can't get everything you want, because that means that the other person is not getting everything that they want. So you come up with a compromise that works for the both of you. Tell your mate what you need. It's important. Don't be tight-lipped about what it is that you want and be afraid to say something because you're afraid of how they might react to it. As they say, a closed mouth does not get fed. So both of you should be happy. Both of you should be eating. If you're afraid to communicate with your mate about whatever you need from him or her, this is important. If you are afraid to communicate with your mate about what you need from him or her, you cannot be upset when you don't get what you want. You didn't say anything. So the person is not a mind reader. How was they supposed to know? If you don't communicate it, you can't be upset when it doesn't happen. You don't get it. You gotta communicate. Communication is key. So when your mate shares with you what he or she needs from you, be open-minded. Listen without invalidating their feelings with a rude or selfish response. Even if it's something that you're not okay with, or whatever. Like if you like, well, whatever it is that they're asking of you, just try to compromise as much as you can without compromising your morals and values. Your mate's needs are important to sustaining your relationship, just like your needs are important as well. So both of your needs are important. So see what you can do to work towards meeting each other's needs in the relationship. If you do your part and your mate does their part in helping to meet each other's needs, the relationship usually works well. It has a balance. Both of you should be happy and content with each other. There's no way to get what you want from your relationship if you don't communicate what you need. Communication is key. So the next time your mate asks you, what do you need from me? Be honest and tell him or her exactly what you need. Never assume that he or she should already know. That is written in the October 2022 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine. It's written for the love of relationships, I should say. And the article is titled, Tell Me What You Need from Me. It is important. Do not assume that they should already know. They don't. So don't assume it. They know some things, yes, but they don't know everything. So it's okay to openly communicate your needs with your mate, especially if you want to get your needs met. Thank you for listening.